here is something I want to tell all of you. Just because maybe your partner did cheat on you, are you giving up on love for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So you are going on a healing journey. You just try to get better, try to think better, right? Do the same when it comes to a business.
Yeah.
Just because this happened doesn't mean it's going to happen for the rest of my life.
Welcome to the Breakthrough and Conquered podcast, the show where we break free of old patterns and generation curses that have held us back for far too long. I'm your host, Claudia Garcia, and in this space, you will gain the tools and resources to help you create the life-changing transformation. Together, we will learn how to think, act, and become the top 1% by conquering limited beliefs, boost your productivity, and know exactly what it takes for you to have your dream life. I will even unlock the secrets of high-ticket affiliate marketing so that way you can make this all possible. Now, welcome back to the podcast, and I have a very special guest. So I'm currently in Bali, and I got to meet two amazing, beautiful women, Jenna and Jenny. So yeah, let them know where you're from and just kind of start talking about your story of why you even got started in this business.
Firstly, thank you for having us.
Yes.
But yeah, actually living in Bali on myself as well, but I'm from Finland. And my story is pretty typical story. So I've been always working in the 9-to-5 jobs or studying. And for the young age, I have this feeling like this basic rat race, how I call it. It's not for me. It's just not for me. And for years, like I try to fit myself in the box. I have changed my job and career so many times, like I cannot even count it because I always tried to find my thing. And every single time I got the same feeling that I'm so stuck in life. Like I cannot live this life where I'm always waiting for the weekend or always waiting for the vacation. And that's like 5 weeks in a year. It's nothing. And it got me to the point that I was really thinking that there is something wrong with me, that I just don't fit in this society, and that not everyone is lucky, that some people just don't like their jobs and they just have to suffer.
Yeah.
And that was the main reason why I started to look out opportunities online, even though like I was super skeptical and super scared. And to be honest, I didn't believe much of online things generally that they could actually work out. And also I didn't have much belief on myself either because I didn't have no experience. Not experience on any of this, like being an entrepreneur, being in social media. It was all new to me, but I have this massive ego to create something else for myself. Like I wanted that freedom more than anything else in the world.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that, Jenna. And Jenny, okay, so like why did you get started in the business as well?
For sure. My story is a little bit different than what I most of the time hear from others. I grew up with an entrepreneur. My dad.
Oh, wow.
Is an entrepreneur, used to be one, and I always looked up to him. So this was always something I said, I want that. I want to work for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a boss. But I mean, how life is, I found myself in a 9-to-5 over and over again. It was my mindset, my circumstances, and I hated it. I had in every single job. I mean, I switched jobs like panties because I just really didn't. I didn't feel good in any job of it.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue was I was fighting with my colleagues all the time because I had a totally different mindset. I was just not there. Like they were all so into the job and into like their work tasks and like functioning like robots. And I'm like, I'm not like this. Like I'm not doing this right now because I'm doing this. And then, anyway, so this was, I tried to escape over and over again. I went to a private school for cosmetic esthetician. That's how it's called. Did some freelancing jobs. This was already nicer. I was able to kind of like create my own schedule and switch up the companies a little bit, had more peace, but it was still basically a 9-to-5 with the boss. And then I started my own beauty salon. I was honestly never afraid to put money into a business. This was always very easy for me. I learned this from my dad. He invested over and over and over again. He failed. He started something else. And this was kind of my journey too. So I invested those around 10K and opened this beauty salon. And then I realized I found myself again in a 9-to-5. And I had like all these clients I needed to make happy. And like, I didn't like it. It was again something, okay, now I'm sitting in there from morning to night. Yes, I'm my own boss, but that's still not the time freedom I wanted.
Yeah.
So, well, I shut it down and I went to the States. I always wanted to go to the States and ended up in San Diego, lived there for 7 years. But I found myself again in a 9-to-5 and in the typical rat race. I was working as a nanny, did school at night, and on the weekends I did photography gigs. So, I actually skipped that. I used to be a photographer, so I was like a self-taught photographer before I went to the US. Did weddings, all the good stuff. I loved it, but I got burned out. It was too much, too quick, too much. And still like 16-hour work days. And like, I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry guys, I forgot that.
That's okay.
Then San Diego, found myself in another 9-to-5 nanny. And oh my God, I hated it.
Yeah.
And I think my breakthrough or line in the sand moment was one day my grandpa passed away. It was COVID time.
Yeah.
And I was just not able to fly home. So I knew I cannot be there. So this was already hard. Once this happened, I received a call from my dad at like 5 a.m. in the morning. He told me about it. I did not want to wake up my boss. So I was just sending her a message and asked for the day off so I can at least calm down emotionally.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm sorry for your loss, but I need you today.
Wow.
So, and this was like, sorry, I have to curse, but I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's absolutely not how I'm going to live my life.
Yeah.
This is so not okay.
Yeah.
I went to work. I went through it. At the end, she had to let me go earlier. I was just not able. I was not capable to take care of this child.
Yeah.
And this was like, okay, now something needs to change.
Yes.
And that's why for me it was very easy. Of course, I had fears and doubts with our business, but putting the money in was not one of them.
Yeah.
So this was always something super easy for me because it's a business.
Yes.
Of course, you got to do something different than just starting a job and get paid like for your time you give. So yes, so this is my little background story.
And that's so cool because like we only met like 3 days ago and I didn't know that story. But I do feel like I've known them my whole life.
Yes.
So it's actually really interesting to hear both of your guys' story. And it's so aligned with something that I've done is like, same thing. It's when I was a waitress, when I was a bartender, when I was a teacher, when I was a bridal consultant, I just knew that life wasn't for me. But there's no shitting on 9-to-5s. Like there's no shitting on getting a job. It helps you, pay your bills.
Exactly.
But there is something in each and one of us that just knew that lifestyle, doing it for 20, 40 years is just not the life for us. And the things that I completely understood is you have to ask permission to live your life. We have to ask permission to go to the bathroom. We have to ask permission to get our days off. But the sad part is you even had to ask permission to grieve. And that's when we kind of put the line of the moment. I was like, this can't be life.
100%.
I agree.
Yeah. So you mentioned a little bit about your fear of investing was not an issue for you.
Absolutely not.
What were your skepticism or like doubts or fears when you started this business?
Easy. And this sounds too good to be true. I'm sure this is a scam.
Yeah.
Because when I started researching, so here's the thing, I have again a little background to that. When you start looking into online opportunities, guys, I got overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And actually, I did a little research. I did a little test for everyone so I can speak about this a little bit more also on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Because everything that it sounds so easy. You guys, you can be happy when you make like $5 in like 5-6 hours. In 5-6 hours, just like recording audio or whatever. I just wanted to have some more information. I tested some things just so I can teach others. don't waste your time with that. You're not getting rich with this. And people are ending up in this rabbit hole, of on YouTube. Like all the people who like share this, they don't realize they share this. So you click on the link and they actually make money with you clicking on that link, not because this website is actually making you money.
Yeah.
So for me, when I first started, I did drop shipping. So I opened this beautiful, beautiful store. But the business I bought into, the support was just horrible. Yeah. There was no support. There was no help. So I quit very, very early on. And then I did fall for a scam. It was, I joined like a program with like 3 videos in there. And then at the end, I'm like, what is this? And then I tried to send an email and the email came right back at me.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. A couple days later, this website was not existing anymore. I'm like, all right, this happened. It's okay, Jenny. Keep pushing. Yes. Of course, I was a little bit sad and like, okay, I will never find something. And then I came across this opportunity, saw an ad, and felt so connected. I was lucky because my coach, she lived 20 minutes away from me in San Diego. So we met up. She's like, you know what? Let's meet. You had a bad experience. Let's get this out of the way because I'm real. So she invited me to her place and I saw everything is real. The products are in her kitchen. She is like, they are the happiest ever. They were just about like purchasing a van and building it. So I was able to see the entire journey of that. I did some van life with them. But of course, I had a bad experience and I thought, okay, this is another scam. It just happens. Yeah. But here is something I want to tell all of you. Just because maybe your partner did cheat on you, are you giving up on love for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So you are going on a healing journey. You just try to get better, try to think better, right? Do the same when it comes to a business. Yeah. Just because this happened doesn't mean it's going to happen for the rest of my life.
So powerful. Yeah. And what about you, Jenna? Like, what are some fears you felt? And I think that's so crazy that you meant, I love that analogy. It's like, just because your partner cheated on you, are you going to give up on love? Like, you were actually scammed. And then if you let that fear of like being scammed again, you wouldn't have the life that you're living right now. We wouldn't have met.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about you, Jenna?
Well, pretty much I came into this with every single fear and doubt what you can imagine. So pretty much I'm a person who has said to myself all my life, I'm never going to be an entrepreneur. Starting a business will be the worst choice of my life. Like I was never looking a business opportunity. I was looking a way out to work online and I went through so many opportunities, but I was too scared to start anything or sign up in anything because I really thought everything is a scam. When I finally found this opportunity through Instagram ad, I didn't click it because I thought it is a scam. So pretty much I stalked this person for several months because this girl was living my dream life. I didn't even follow her. I just always went to her profile and check it through. And finally, when I have the courage to reach out, I realized there's a really big person behind and I was super excited. I went through, I quickly signed up, went through our discovery process, learned about this business. I was super excited and I feel like I have found my thing. Did I get started? Absolutely no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I waited for 3 months because I was scared other people's opinions. Like I wasn't a social media person before this. I was really private person. I was so scared to show my face in social media, speaking English because it's not my first language. I was so scared of investing money because I have never invested. And that's something no one around me has done. Not in my friend group, not in my family. Like I have no entrepreneurs around me.
Yeah.
And so that was a big one. And obviously fear of failure. Like what if I put my money into this and it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
And then everyone will tell me that you were in the scam, like you were the stupid one. And those were the things what held me back for 3 months. I went back and forth. Like I tried to talk myself out of this because I was so scared.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much I had absolutely every single one what you can imagine.
And it's so valid. Like I think the majority of people do feel like this is a lot of money. And if it doesn't work out, I wasted that money.
Yep.
But in reality, I think Jenny can prove that sometimes it doesn't work out and that's okay. And it's not going to kill you. And I think it's so crazy that now that we're in this business and we get to connect with other people, there's a lot of things that I notice we all have in common, and I kind of really say this to like my social media, is we're cycle breakers. We're either breaking the cycle of 9 to 5, we're either cycle breakers in our family and breaking generation curses, or sometimes we're the black sheep in the family.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys relate?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. And I used to think that was a bad thing. I used to think like, why am I so different? Why do I think differently? Why am I the odd one out? And I was talking to Jenna about this earlier. I was like, well, it made me realize this is why.
Yeah.
Because our lives are meant to look different. We're supposed to think different, act differently. And that's why we travel. That's why we are entrepreneurs. So can you guys kind of explain like how you felt like you were a black sheep in your family, and maybe somebody can even relate to that story?
Yeah, I think for myself, it was the feeling that why I don't fit in this 9 to 5 world.
Mm-hmm.
That was a massive one for myself, because everyone else in my family, like they followed the same path like I did for years as well. Like just get good grades and get good job and just stick with it. Get married, have 2.5 kids and a dog. And but that's like some kind of number, what the potential number, what they have. Anyway, I just never had those dreams to have that general life what everyone else was living, and I felt so outside. And everyone, like in my family, in my friend group, they followed that.
Yeah.
And I struggled a lot. Like I remember time like when everyone else was studying in uni, I never went to university. I was traveling. I was just traveling every single time, and it made me so happy. But also it made me feel like I don't belong. There's something wrong with me that I don't want to have that what everyone else is having. And it was a massive battle in my head. And like you said, like we never belonged. Like we should be like it wasn't never be against them. It was just that we just needed to find our own place and what we want to do and follow that path. But sometimes it's really hard because everyone else around you is doing exactly the same thing, and you don't know how break through, how break free from it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's such a like powerful point, because we have a different calling. We're meant to feel different. And even now, I'm married, I have a child, and I feel like I really don't connect with a lot of people because, most people settle down. And I'm like, no, my life is just beginning. I shouldn't be settling down right now. I'm only 30 years old. But when people see my life and are able to see that I retired my husband, I'm traveling the world, and I still have a son, I feel like I could be the advocate as like, you don't have to fit in.
Exactly.
And this opportunity is beautiful for the people. It's like, if you don't feel like you belong, find your tribe.
Yep.
Like you got to turn a different channel.
Exactly. Totally agreeing.
Yeah. What about you, Jenny?
The black sheep part?
Yes, the black sheep.
Ooh, love this one.
I feel like we should get tattoos of black sheep.
I love this one. Always felt like the black sheep. I was the one who kind of always tried to escape hometown. Yeah, from a very small little town.
Yeah.
I think 2,500 people live there. So that's it. So I tried different cities in Germany. Was not happy. I got a job in Greece for 6 months just to get like out of Germany. I just wanted to be out of Germany. And I mean, my parents did support me. I don't want to say I'm lucky. It should be like that, but unfortunately, with everyone I speak, I hear this very often, that they don't have the support.
Yeah.
If they are a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Want something else from life. And now, since I do moved to Bali, and of course my family is watching me too.
Yeah.
Watching my lifestyle, and I hear this so often. They're like, I wish I could live like this.
Aww.
So, but yeah, this is my godmother, and like it's many of them. Of course, not all of them, but this shows me at least I've done the steps. I will never have to say I wish I would have. And this is how I live.
Yeah. Hey sis, I just wanted to pause for just a second and just say I appreciate you and I honor you. Seriously. The fact that you're tuning into this episode tells me a lot about you. It tells me that you're not just going through the motions of life, that you're seeking real change and you're wanting more. You're craving more, not just for yourself, but for your family. And that means the world to me. And I'd be extremely grateful if you are able to take this moment to like, subscribe, or leave a positive review. So that way it helps the show and it really helps other people as well. Now let's get back to the episode. No, and that's so crazy because like I mentioned to Jenna earlier too, is like our families, they come from endearment. They come in a good place. And I had to go through my own healing journey to realize that sometimes what they say is not a personal attack, or maybe what their advice is coming from a survival. But I used to get kind of like, my family would be like, oh, must be lucky. Or, I'm just the Mexicans here working hard. And I used to get offensive of that. I was like, I work hard. Yeah, exactly. I was like, why do you think I have this life? I work extremely hard. But in anything, it actually proved to me as like, I am going a different direction and that's okay. And I know they mean that in a really nice way, but it's like, but there is another way, you know? It's just you have to really want a change and you have to really go through that healing journey to actually see the other side because we're programmed to think a certain way. So, and that's definitely I want to touch on for each of you is like, how are you on your healing journey? Because entrepreneurship is personal development on crack. And that's how you get to the other side or even close to the other side.
100%. For me, honestly, before this business, I didn't even know what healing means. So this is very, very huge for me. I know I had to heal in many, many different ways. Yes, I had some limiting beliefs, of course. Once you start this business, you get challenged every single day and you have to push through these challenges. And this is also what I'm always teaching my girls. Like, it is a journey and you need to start loving this journey. And this is actually a sentence I've never understood. It took me very, very long to understand. And this has to do with healing. This has to do with me journaling, with me listen to podcasts a lot about my relationship and private life.
Yeah.
This is what, I mean, my parents are divorced. So this is something I think I struggled a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm still the one who pulls in the same type of man, very, very feminine energy. And this is something, so I'm still healing. And now you might think, I mean, how does this have to do with this business? But it does, because you have to heal in whatever is holding you back. And this is a part of it. Of course, when I don't feel good with myself because of my love life or these things, how can I show up authentically in my business?
Yeah.
So am I healed? Oh, for sure not, you guys. This is a never-ending story. There are always new challenges coming, but I'm working on myself and it's getting better. And at least I understand what healing means. I can see things. If you would have asked me before this business, what is feminine and masculine energy? And this is also something you are bringing into your business, but this is also, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Thanks to all this mindset journey, I'm learning about this.
Yes.
And it is so cool. Like every single day I'm like, oh yeah, this makes sense. And I can actually implement this in my business too.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. I love that you said that because the best way I can maybe picture it for the viewers to see how this correlates to a business, going to step one. If you are insecure or if you have this fear of thoughts of others, then you're not going to show up in your business because you're going to feel secure on camera. You're going to feel secure going on social media and boom, your business is affected. So learning your love styles and learning the masculine energy and all of that. And those are a little more advanced things that we can definitely like touch it in a different podcast. But that's what's so beautiful about this business is that the transformation happens within and our reality starts to show for it. So not only do we get to like actually do a healing journey and transform in our own lives, but like, for example, I get to be a better wife. I get to be a better mom. And no corporate work would ever allow me. They love that you're depressed and miserable.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So that's what's the beauty of this business, not just like the money, the lifestyle, but is the actual transformation that happens within so that your reality shows for it. You know?
But yeah, for myself, I think I started my healing journey before this business without knowing that I started my healing journey. So pretty much people in Finland, like we are really I wouldn't say shy, but we don't talk about our feelings. We shut them down. And before starting this business, I actually have a massive mental breakdown. So pretty much I've been that type of person who's been always in a relationship. And every time when I have broken up with my ex-boyfriends, I have never went through that breakup. So pretty much I started partying, drinking, doing drugs and traveling. And that was how I healed myself. But I actually never went through. Yeah, exactly. I never went through those feelings. And beginning of the year 2022, it was the same year when I started my business. I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. We were together for 7 years, and I did the same thing again. I started traveling, drinking, doing drugs, but this time it didn't help. I couldn't run away from myself anymore. Like, I just couldn't do it, and I broke down. I remember I was crying for 2 weeks at home. Like, my life is shit. I hate absolutely everything. I hate myself. I cannot do this life. Like, I need to find a way out, and that's eventually how I found this business. When I came to this business, I was a person who have never done any mindset work, any personal development, any healing. And to be honest, I thought it's all like hoo-ha. I don't need it. I don't have to do it. And I tried to go through for several months with my business, and I was like, I do all the tasks, I do everything, but what's missing? And then I realized it's me. Me and my mind and my healing and my personal development is missing. And that's the moment when I started doing deeply. And the change between who I was 3 years ago or 2 years ago comparing today, it's like a night and day. Like, the amount of shit I have digged through from my past. I have gone through all the like past relationship with my mom, like all of these things. And like you shared, like, yeah, my parents support me on their own way, but they don't understand what I'm doing. They don't understand this business. They don't understand that how I can live this way. And it's hurtful because they don't share with you. They are not like happy with your results, and you're super excited to share them. And they're like, oh, cool. Yay. And you're like, well, fuck. This happened. Like, can you say, oh, fuck yes, I'm so proud of you. And that's something what I have to get over it, because I was always that person who really wanted my mom's improvement to everything. And this business was the first time when I actually did something without asking her. And it sounds stupid. I'm over 30, like why I think about this, but it goes so deep in your childhood. And that's why like doing healing during this business and any part of your life is so damn important, because you will stay stuck with your emotions. You will stay stuck your feelings, and it might be something tiny bit from your childhood, but it's affecting you still when you're over 30. So that's why it's so important. And this is one of my favorite part of this business, that you can get so much inner work, and if you are ready to do the inner work, because that's big part of it. And that's the part when you start to grow in every level.
Yeah. Oh my God. I relate to that so much, because I definitely had a victim mindset growing up. And I know who I get that from, but I was like, why don't they love me? Why aren't they doing this for me? Why aren't they saying they're proud? Why don't they talk to me? And then because of this business, it helped me, allowed me to stay out of a victim mindset. It's like, why do I need their approval so bad? Why do I need to prove to them that I'm doing good? I know I'm doing good.
Exactly.
So it really does that inner work of like, this work is for you and not for anybody else. And I think that's the most confidence I've ever felt in my life, to be like, the same thing. I would go to like my mom and I'd be like, Mom, I made $9,000. Like, and she'd be like, oh, it's not about the money and blah, blah, blah. I was like, but that's not the point. The point is I get to live this beautiful life and be able to financially support everybody as I want. And I get where she's coming from. She's coming from a survival, and that with the tools that she has, where I think past self would be like, look, Mom, like, say you're proud. But no, it's like, no, I get your point. But it would be like, it's not about the money, but it's about the freedom. It's about the tools that I get to enhance because of the money that we get to do in this business. So that healing portion is so huge to actually have a breakthrough. And really, that's when my business started taking off, because it was authentic. I was confident. I was doing this for me and nobody else. So you guys definitely touch about like you're living in Bali, you're having all these breakthroughs, but like, what's something that a really proud moment that you've had in your business that made you feel like, holy crap, I'm making progress. I'm really going on the other side. Like, this is actually happening for me.
Oh, I know that. It was definitely it was my first 10K month.
Woo, let's go. Yeah.
It was so freaking excited. And just so you guys know, I did it with 2 sales.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm at the point where I make all the points of commission. I don't know if you shared this before. You guys don't get confused, but this is for me like, wow, my hard work paid off.
Yes.
It works.
Yes.
And this is, this was me. Like, this was it for me.
I think it's money for myself as well and hitting certain ranks. Like, I always have this vision that when I started, I want to be on 4A, and because that means that you will go all the way to the top. And when I hit that rank, I was like, now I'm the person who I was watching for so long time that I made it. And now I'm like going higher and higher and higher. But yeah, I think that was the moment that I'm actually capable to make all of this happen. I'm capable to help other people. I'm capable to make shitload of money. And and I have to say, like, my first 5-figure month was the other one as well, realizing that I actually made third of my yearly salary in 1 month. It's insane. It's insane to say aloud because, yeah.
And it's, I think you said it, that part. You like, maybe you're watching this video, maybe you're watching our content, and you just see people posting like, this person made 10K, this person made 50K, this person made 100K. And yeah, I could totally relate to that. When you're finally that person, you're like, holy shit, I was watching somebody else and now I'm doing it. I think for me, my biggest moment was, if you guys don't know, I live in California. I live in one of the most expensive places in the world. And it was more of like, not the money itself, but the money shift, that I stopped worrying about money. Money didn't bother me anymore. Like, everybody around me are complaining about gas prices, pricing of living and everything. And to me, it was just more like, I'll make it happen. You know, the confidence that came behind that money mindset switch and being able to be like, yes, I live in the most expensive places in the world, but I love where I live and I could actually have the freedom to choose where I live.
Exactly.
I think that was like my biggest like aha moment. I was like, this is what I want for my life. And then last thing for sure, we're going to close off this podcast, even though it's so good. I love hearing our guys' stories. What would you tell your past self? What you know now that was so scared and so skeptic about starting this business?
I will say just go for it. Go for it a million times, because I was really different when I found this opportunity. Like I said, I was skeptical and scared, and I didn't believe myself. So yeah, I would say go for it. Like, you will make just amazing things. You will grow so much. You're going to change your life in every aspect. And you start to believe in yourself in a way you have never done before in your life. And just push a little bit more. Just fucking do it.
Yes. Fucking do it. Okay, what about you, Jenny?
You are capable.
Wow.
And you matter. Easy, simple, short.
You met her. I love that. Oh, man. So, yes, we're going to enjoy Bali because right now it's beautiful. We're going to go in the pool right after. But if you are watching this and you want to know more about high-ticket affiliate marketing, you know where to find us. But where can they find you?
So, yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Living the Life by Jenna.
And mine is I think it's underline, right?
Underscore?
It's underscore. There you go, German. It's underscore Jenny Wolf.
Yes. And you know me, I'm Claudia Conquers Life, Instagram, TikTok. And if you do want to learn more about high-ticket affiliate marketing, you could definitely check out www.claudiaconquers.com. And if you enjoyed this podcast, it would mean the world to me if you leave a review, thumbs up, share it with a fellow Black Sheep person so maybe they can finally find their tribe as well. So I'll see you next time and stay unstoppable.